Howdy everybody, and welcome to another video with me, Craig Bryant, and welcome to Holyhead, which is in North Wales. It's not on Anglesey, it's on Holy Island, which is just off Anglesey. I am coming here to do a video comparing Stena Line and Irish ferries on the Holyhead to Dublin route. I'm only going to Dublin for the day. In fact, my original plan was to go to Dublin for basically 45 minutes and then swap ferries. But as many of you might have heard or seen on the news, Holyhead Port had a bit of a disaster last year, and I came during that time where one of the dolphins, they're called, that attaches to the pier where the ferry docks had collapsed, which meant that all ferry services were cancelled last time I was here. But because of that, they still haven't fully repaired it, but basically only one of the two berths that Stena Line and Irish Ferries use is in use. So they've had to amend the timetable basically so that both ferry companies can use the same berth. This means I'm going to be in Dublin for a good 5 or 6 hours, which is great in one sense, but it does mean I'm due to get in tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I need to get back up to Newcastle to celebrate the Cup win, the open top bus and the parade and the celebrations going on. The ferry I'm going on was originally built as the world's biggest ro-ro passenger ferry. It's the MV Ulysses, the absolutely mighty beast of the Irish Sea. That is with Irish Ferries. And then coming back later today, I'll be getting on the Stena Adventurer, which is the longest ferry actually that gets out of this port. It's slightly longer, but it has less gross tonnage, it has less space on board, but it's still absolutely huge. Anyway, I can't wait to get on board. I can't check in yet, but I'm going to have a little look around Holyhead station, which is attached to the port, and I'll come and show you around. Well, this place is bringing back plenty of memories from earlier this year. Link in the description to the video where I get on one of them bad boys Transport for Wales trains. This is all linked up though. It's absolutely classy. You've got the platform there for the trains. The trains can go, I think, a lot of them go all the way to Cardiff actually, which is amazing. I don't know how long that train is, but I'd love to do that someday. And then there is another access point to the passenger terminal, and then to get in to Holyhead itself, you've got the Celtic Gateway Bridge, which is where I'm going to go next, because I've seen something a little bit special. The only downside to this ferry port is this is how close you get to the berth of the bigger ferries. There is the MV Ulysses in all of its majesty, looking absolutely brilliant in the spring sunshine. I've just checked the time and it is 2 minutes till check-in, so perfect timing. I'm just going to go and queue up, and hopefully we'll be getting on the shuttle bus or shuttle little mini bus, sometimes it can be, to the ferry pretty soon. I can't wait to get on board now. Thank you. Out on deck now, and the first thing that hits you with this ferry is just its sheer size. I mean, look at the size of that funnel. It is absolutely massive. The outdoor space isn't amazing, I would say, but there's enough there. and it was, like I've said, the biggest ferry in the world when it was launched, and it came into service in 2001. It's nearly 51,000 gross tonnage. It is absolutely huge, and take just under 2,000 passengers. 1,342 cars, which is just unbelievable. I don't know how you can fit that many cars on, and 240 lorries. But next to the ferry, you can see the structure where the two berths, so you've got the left-hand side berth, which is the normal Irish Ferries one, and then Terminal 5, which is where the Ulysses is docked now, which is actually the Stena line berth. And the dolphins are the things that are attached to that structure in the middle. And as you can see, one of the dolphins on the Irish Ferry side had collapsed. That was during Storm Dara in December 2024. And some people disagree on what happened, but basically Irish ferries, either this ferry, the Ulysses, the James Joyce, or both of them made contact with it, which meant a collapse, which is obviously an incredibly serious situation. When I saw this ferry depart, you could see people, sort of taking the mooring lines away on these dolphins. So they're very much in use. It could have been much, much worse. But yes, we're now going to depart and head off into the Irish Sea for our 3 hours and 30-minute voyage to Dublin. Bye-bye, Holyhead. I will see you, God willing, in the early hours of tomorrow morning. But now we're going to round Holyhead breakwater, and I can just see in the distance the Stena Adventurer, the one I'll be getting later on, is just coming in. So I'm going to try and get some shots of that as well. So windy when you get to the edge, so I'm just going to sit on the seats and watch the Stena Adventurer go by. Beautiful ferry. Right, it's a bit windy, so time to head inside. I told you I don't like doing this bit, so you're getting a chip. Actually, that's a lovely chip. Just moved to Bloom's Snack Bar from the eatery area, which had absolutely tons of choice. I am feeling pretty sleepy. There are loads of people on board, but it's such a big vessel that everybody's really spread out. So like, that's how much space I've got. So I might actually have a lie down later on, and I'm not even like leaving my stuff anywhere because there's plenty of space. But I'm gonna go and do the tour now. I've only been on deck 7, so I sort of know what's here. So we'll start on deck 7. I don't know how long this is going to take. Hopefully it's not too long, but it's just so you can see exactly what's available on the ferry is a normal ferry passenger, not somebody who's paying for a lounge or somebody who's a freight driver who will get their own lounge as well. So come and join us as we have a very long walk around this massive ferry. Right, moving on from where I was sitting, we're going towards the back, so going aft to the stern on deck 7. Free Wi-Fi in that lounge, but €5 for everybody else. Absolute joke. Plenty of choice. Nice. Yeah, I saw that on the top deck. So lovely open area in the worst part of any ship, which is the shop. Just stinks of perfumes like being in an airport. Starting to show its age now, it's about 25 years old. Not bad. Like a mini Blackpool. Oh, glad there's no kids there. Pause your screen if you want to have a better look at this. Loads of space. And look at all of those cabins on deck 10. It really is massive. If you're enjoying this, you're a weirdo, please subscribe though, it massively helps and it's free. See this bay as well. Weird little wasted area here, but a great view over the stern. Up to deck 10. This is taking ages, sorry guys if you're bored. I'm trying my best. This should be very cabin heavy, so not much to see. Love this little area in the middle though. Ooh, yeah, comfy. choice balcony lounge. Some storage. Oh, it's open. Oh, I just want to have a look. Oh, look at this. Oh my days, I should definitely not be in here. But when the chance is there, look at that. Toilet. Ensuite. This is lovely. This is massive. This must be one of the better cabins. 2 single beds. Ooh, hiyo. Sorry, I'm just having a little look. Is that alright?
No, please.
Got kicked out by the cleaner. I was like, I'm only having a look. She was like, no, please. So more of the same on deck 10, and there's nothing to see further forward as well, so up to deck 11. And oh, it's cold. So going through Cafe Lafayette this time, which is lovely. It's empty. But the coffee looks alright actually. This is the last bit. A massive gift shop. And back to where I was sitting, which was just one of those. Boylan's Brasserie. Let's finish off by going to the seat I was in before. That's got a name, Leopold Blooms. There's the tour done. I hope you enjoyed that. You get to have a little look at what's on board. As you can see, most of it's on deck 9, not deck 7. I nearly got it wrong again. Deck 10 is all of the cabins. Don't go into the cabins because you'll get booted out. I'm going to go and have a chill now. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing and it means so much. Honestly, it matters so much more than you expect. Give the video a like. Leave a comment if you've been on this ferry before to tell me what you thought of being, especially on a busier sailing or maybe even an overnight sailing, which is a lot quieter. But what just my initial thoughts are, it is very spacious, but it is starting to show its age. It's about 25 years old, but it was the biggest ferry in the world when it was released, but now it is no longer. Some Norwegian stuff I think is overtaking it instead. But yeah, I'm just gonna have a little relax now. I'm feeling pretty tired, got up pretty early pardon me, this morning, so just gonna have a chill. I'm obviously not sleeping, this is just for the YouTube. Well, that's a first for me. Other than being on a cabin, I've never really had to sleep on a ferry before in one of the public areas, but that was lovely. It was so comfortable, and I ended up falling asleep for an hour and a half. So I've missed an hour and a half of this. I can just see Island's Eye, which is a little island off the coast. So we're getting close. I'm gonna have 5 minutes to pull myself around, and then maybe go back outside if I can be bothered. We'll see. It's a little bit cold and windy now. Got the hood up, got all the gear, and can see Dublin now just behind me. We're taking a little bit of a right hand turn, so I think I'm going to stay out here until we get berthed, and then we'll see how the foot passengers get off this. probably started raining as well, so I may have to go in. I'll see if I can survive though with the wet weather gear. We're well and truly in Dublin Bay now. Just looking south now, you can see the start of the Wicklow Mountains in the distance, and if I zoom in there, that is Dunleary, where there used to be fast ferry services, no longer anymore, but that's where they would have went in. Zooming back out, you can see your classic, let's zoom out all the way like that, your classic Irish weather difference. That's where the rain's coming. Oh my days, that nearly just went down my throat, all of the wind. But there is Poolbeg Power Station, really famous site on these journeys and in Dublin itself, and you can see just the end of the breakwater, the pier, as we enter the River Liffey and into Dublin port as well. I'll go on the other side and let you know what you can see there. This side is the first bit of land that you see of the actual island of Ireland. That there is the Howth Peninsula, lovely place, been there before. And one thing you can do on the starboard side is to watch planes if the wind is this right direction, i.e. blowing up west of the runways, all line up there. If you want to watch some videos of me flying in there, just did one last month, go and check it in the description as well. And then spinning all the way around, all my days, that is horrible, horrible weather there. There is the other side, and you can barely see it, but Dublin port itself is in there. So it's going to blow away. My days, it is blowing a hoolie. Woo! Brisk. Are they alright in the head? I mean, it's windy, you could actually be blowing off. There is no shelter. I've just stood in the bit that is on the leeward side, so the wind's hitting this superstructure, but it doesn't have a cover. Not at all. Horrible. Lovely though. Horrible. And everybody thinks they're a ferry spotter until wind like this comes, separates the men from the boys. We're arriving now into our berth at Dublin. You can see behind me some other ferries. I think that is the Stena Horizon taking place of the Stena Embla, which normally does this route, which is going to cover the Stena Superfast, because each of them is having their annual overhaul. So that's gone up to Belfast to Cairn Ryan, and that is now covering this route. We also have an Irish ferry. Which one is that? Is it the Isle of Inisheer? It is. It's the Isle of Inisheer. You can tell by the funnels there. Behind me, the green funnels, it's the Isle of Inisheer, which is now taken over the James Joyce, obviously, which has now gone back to Tallink and is now called the MS Star. If you want to see a video, I keep doing shout outs for yourself. I've done a video on that one, it's called the Oscar Wilde. That is a lovely ferry, but the Isle of Inisheer instead has took over. It's the second ferry on this route. So there are two ferries for each ferry operator, the Stena Adventurer and today the Stena Horizon, but usually the Stena Embla, and then it's the Ulysses and the Isle of Inisheer, but also a third fast ferry, the Dublin Swift. I was also wondering how to get into Dublin, and I'm very pleased to see the Nolan coaches, which I've just eyed up. It says Ferry Link, so hopefully that'll take me into the centre of Dublin. And the sun has returned for our proper arrival into Dublin. Gonna go downstairs, gonna go and wait. I think it's actually gonna be what do you call it, a jet bridge, but it's not a jet bridge, it's like a ferry bridge. It's going to be an enclosed walkway instead, which by the looks of it anyway. Sunken wet, so many legs. You can't tell, but they're absolutely drenched.
This embarkation has now commenced. Thank you for travelling with Irish Ferries.
I've made it to Dublin city centre now, and yeah, the coach transfer was no bother whatsoever. €3 with Nolan Transport, which was just waiting there, didn't book or anything. I think you should book if you want to bank on it, but because it left a little bit early and things like that, it was supposed, whatever Google Maps was saying was wrong, basically, or that left like 20 minutes early. Yeah, just to sum up my thoughts for this video before I go and experience Temple Bar, and then in the next video, the one that comes out after this in a week, will be on the Stena line adventure on the Adventurer back this evening. Actually, I've only got about 2 or 3 hours left now. But yeah, just to summarise my thoughts on the Ulysses. The Ulysses was a massive ferry, and you can sort of tell its age a little bit now. 25 years old. Ships of that size usually have a lifespan expected of about 30-35 years, but really clean, really tidy. The people at the staff, especially at Holyhead port, were just absolutely lovely. Most of the staff on board were nice. Yes, I shouldn't have been snooping around people's rooms, but the door was wide open and I didn't take anything, and yeah, anyway, I'll get over it. The cleaner was a little bit funny with this, but she could have just handled it a little bit better, just like sort of laughed off and went, could you just go? You know, there's no need to be funny about it. Anyway, yeah, trying to think of other things. The outdoor deck space, actually, I'm going to revise my review of it. It was a little bit pants because there was nothing on the sides, and this is what winds me up. I think you had to be in the club lounge to access the sides, and so basically you just had that area around the funnel on one deck, and that was it. Even though it was big, because it was raining, it wasn't even at all. But I've had a really nice travel there, really comfortable seating, so much that I've slept on a ferry for the first time in my life, not in a cabin. I will reserve my final judgment of who you should go for, Stena Line or Irish Ferries, for the end of the next video, obviously. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please give the video a like, leave a comment as well, it massively helps, and I will see you in part 2 this time next week. Bye bye.
Haven't split the G, bro. Sorry.
Cheers. It's the same place as the dancing. It's 5:55, by the way. You would never believe it. Everybody's absolutely buzzing. Great music.